Hey guys, it's a bloody nice night out here. You got to make the most of these nights. So I'm out walking on my jack, on my own. Daughter's with a friend, and I'm just out here taking a stroll. And thank God to Grom, because he's been helping me out with this bloody editor thing, because I've got absolutely no clue. And he got me hooked up with a few people as far as the companies with editors, and I think I'm going to go with I think it's called DaVinci Resolve. I think 18. I think I'm going to go there, because I'm a little bit, even though I really don't think I pulled the trigger on the last one, and I don't know why, but so yeah, okay, down to me really, because I got an email from them today and they said they got no record. So I don't know what I was doing, but I thought I bought it, but I guess I didn't. But even that said, it's just this, that they're not, when a company doesn't keep up to their end of the bargain or their end of a contract, I have a little bit of a problem with that, because these, what I thought was I was buying a lifetime license, and then what was weird was this happened even though I didn't, it looks like I hadn't bought it, but of course that got me to get in with Grom and go, hey, what's this all about? And he gave me the news. I'm like, what? they're not warranting the people that have the lifetime now. That kind of bothers me. So this company is the next, it looks like it's the next best thing, even though there was a couple of others that I checked out. As soon as I clicked on this one, and I went to YouTube and did a little bit of a tutorial on it, and I thought, whoa, hang on a minute, that's possible. I could do this. I could do this. Because there's so many times I've said before in videos where I've backed up out of there, which is a fear. Don't know what of, but maybe back then, old me, it was fear of failure or something. I don't know, but anyway, I think that's the one I'm going to go for. So, but then I started. I'm going to get into a dark area here. Hang on, let me go to the light. So I wanted to. I just wanted to kind of bring up the subject of why I say stay the course. And it's weird because I can't even remember how I got to say it, but I don't remember actually thinking that's what I'm going to say at the end. I don't actually remember. I think it just came out, which is really strange, because one, my old man was in the Navy during the Second World War, and then he weren't in I don't know how long he was in the Navy, because he went into the commandos. He went into I believe, the naval branch of commandos. And I didn't even realise what that meant. I used to hear all the stories and that, but never really knew what that meant until I moved to the States and met a military guy, said who my old man was, and he was like, what? But the naval side of it is what comes into it, stay the course. And it's really weird, because as I've got into this work with helping others and guiding others, and I say to them, stay the course, or like I say on my videos to everybody, stay the course. When a Navy get in a storm and there's no way of going around it, that's the first point, and try and get around it. But if they can't get around it, all of a sudden they're in it. I used to remember my old man used to tell me that the waves would be like, he'd be looking up at them like a cliff, and then he'd be on the top of them looking down. And I thought, where the ship would just be like, just bouncing. And you'll hear them say, stay the course, because they're on the right course. But there might be a storm and havoc and shit flying around them, but stay the course. And it just coincides with the way I work, because there may be storms kicking off, and there may be shit hitting the fan, and there may be all kinds of things going off around, but if you stay the course, you'll come out the other side of that. So it's kind of weird. And plus, I'm a huge Lord Nelson freak. That's my boy that just went to sleep. I named him Nelson. So, you know, and it's all the old sailboats and cannon fire, and it's crazy. I've read the book about Trafalgar and Nelson's Trafalgar or something it's called. It's like madness. It goes into detail about everything that went on that ship, just not wrapped around one man, but everything that went. It's like, wow, holy cow! How the heck do you get through? How'd you get through that? So there's that to it as well, like the victories of Nelson. If you look him up, check him out, Lord Nelson, Horatio Nelson. He was no joke. And he had his skeletons in the closet. Don't get me wrong. There's shit out there about him too. I don't think there is on anybody really. But if you look at the military background of the guy, madness. What he got through. But just stay the course, guys. Get through the storm. You know, stick in there. Sometimes my guys come to me and they might be in crisis, and it's a matter of, all right, what do we do to get you through? And then we just work, and they stay the course. They stay on course, and then they start seeing that little bit of light where things start to kind of slot into place, and then they're over that bump. Anybody that knows me, I like to say bumps. I don't like to say mistakes. Bumps. You can go over a bump, go around it, or dig your way through it. It's just a bump. So stay the course, guys. Namaste.